Welcome back, everybody. We spoke to Bay Area rower Matt Brown, who was preparing to navigate the Atlantic in November in record time. Brown and his teammates from Latitude 35 were hoping to set the world record.
When you tell them about what you're about to do, what do they say?
They say you're crazy.
Yeah, this was the scene when Brown and his team left from a Spanish island off the African coast on December 14th. The manpower boat was joined by 11 other teams in the Talisker Whisky Atlantic Challenge. The guys took shifts alternating between rowing and sleeping, stranded in the middle of the ocean. 35 days after they left, they arrived in Antigua, 2,700 nautical miles away from their starting point. Brown got off the boat and hugged his wife and 2-year-old daughter. And joining us in studio, we're lucky to have Matt Brown here. Matt, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was it like when you finally landed in Antigua? Because 35 days away from a 2-year-old and your wife is a long time.
It's a long time away. I was so happy to be back there, but to be honest, I couldn't even walk on land. I had no calf muscles left, and I was land sick in a sense. I was stumbling around.
It took a few days to get your feet on it.
It took several days. Yeah.
3,000 miles, 35 days, 14 hours, 3 minutes, an all-time record, shattering the old mark by 43 hours. Tell me about the journey, because some people might think if you beat that record by 43 hours, it meant calm seas, you know, sipping Coronas and using a lot of sunscreen. That wasn't the case.
Not quite. We did 2-hour shifts, 24 hours a day. We'd go 2 hours on, 2 hours off. The entire time, we were very strict about that, never took a shift off. And by the end of it, I mean, we worked really hard to get that record.
What was the biggest challenge you faced?
For me, it was definitely being seasick in the beginning. I got so seasick in the first 3 days that I did not eat or drink anything for almost 3 days, and I was still doing shift after shift after shift. And it came to a point where my hands were shaking. I couldn't hold down even water. It got pretty bad.
So how were you able to maintain endurance if you're losing your physical and perhaps mental faculties because you weren't eating or drinking?
It was a lot about mental toughness. You have to stay really mentally tough there. Physically, you're exactly right. I mean, I lost 40 pounds exactly. I started at 225 pounds, put on a lot of weight and a lot of muscle to begin this race, and I ended at 185 pounds.
I have to say, when we saw that video, that first soundbite, you look like a different guy.
I'm a different guy in a lot of ways, but they're all good ways.
Are you going to keep it off?
I think I'm going to slowly put some weight back on.
I think, yeah. The skipper, Jason Caldwell. The crew consisted of Angus Collins, Alex Simpson, and yourself. 35 days together in small quarters. Was that a strain mentally as well as on top of everything else?
It could have been, but you know what? Jason put together the perfect team here. I mean, in a sense, we didn't have weaknesses. We all had individual weaknesses, but as a team, we balanced each other out so well. And, you know, there was never a bad word said on the boat. Yeah, there were things that we all did that may have annoyed the other guy, but we really came together as a team, and it really speaks to how Jason put together the crew as a whole. You
said each rower had individual weaknesses.
Yep.
How was Jason able to recognize the weaknesses in each sailor and know that the strength of your strength would overcome the weakness in the other sailor?
Yeah, I think the big thing that Jason had going into this year is last year in many ways was a big failure for him because he tried to do the same race and he lost 2 of the guys. They abandoned the boat halfway through. So he still had to finish the race, and he learned a lot from that experience, and he made mistakes, yes, but he learned from those mistakes, put together the perfect team this year.
What would cause a sailor to abandon the boat?
It was, well, mental toughness and also seasickness. Yeah. So kind of the same things that we were struggling with this year.
You could have been one of those guys.
I did not want to be that guy, but I got close. I had to keep on saying, you can do this, just keep on going, take one more stroke, one more session.
So what did your wife say when you got into Antigua?
My wife was very happy to see me. My daughter was very happy to see me. We just, that's the first time I just broke out into tears. And then after that, I was a big crybaby.
Next goal?
Next goal, being a good dad, raising my daughter.
Why don't you stay on shore for a while?
I'll try.
Matt, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Matt, a product of Rockland High School, just east of Sacramento. I should mention, too, that Matt's journey was dedicated to the Oak Hill School, a learning center in San Anselmo for autistic students. And on game day, a dream weekend for the Aussie Open. Yesterday, the Williams sisters today turned back the clock for Federer Nadal.